right.
All right. Welcome to this week's episode of the Iron and Instinct podcast. I am Trainer Bryan.
I'm Trainer Adam.
And we are here today to talk about a very popular subject, the Kandahar Giant. Almost got him.
That was good. That was not planned. That was not expected. I like that. The Kandahar Giant. Oh, I love it.
All right. We're going to talk about fasting.
You guys should look that up, though.
That's pretty wild.
You guys actually should look that up.
Look it up. And,
but not what we're talking about.
No. We're going to talk about fasting today.
Yeah.
All things fasting, benefits, types of fasting, why it's become so popular, and what it can do for you, and best ways to approach it. So, yeah. I guess where do you want to start with fasting?
I mean, I guess we could explain. What fasting is to the untrained person.
Yeah.
You know, the basics of it.
Yeah.
And then kind of, I segue into the different kinds of fasting.
Sure.
And kind of our experiences with it over the years. You know, because we both do it.
Yeah.
You know, we both fast. Various lengths. You know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess dig right into it. So
Yeah, in general, fasting.
You know, what is...
So you're gonna go a prolonged period without food, really without anything that has calories. So, there's certain types of beverages you can still have while fasting as long as it doesn't break the fast. I'd look deeper into what those are.
Yeah.
We can cover that later, but it's a prolonged period without food.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The most common that you're going to hear about today and people are utilizing is intermittent fasting. That's become kind of the new, it's not new at this point, it's probably been big for the last 8 years or so. But
yeah.
And I'd say that's the most common you're going to see. And then you kind of get into extended fasts, several times a year, and different lengths of those. But let's start with intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Some of what other people may have heard it as is time restricted eating.
Yep. Or eating windows.
Things like that.
Yeah.
The I guess easiest way to put it too is you want to begin your fast so whatever your last meal was the night before, however many hours after that. Typically, the easiest way to start is like a 12-hour fast.
12 and 12.
12 and 12, right?
You're still going to get some benefits, but not as much as a slightly more extended fast, but it's a good good segue to get into it.
Yeah.
So 12 hours with no calories whatsoever, and then 12 hours of when you are eating.
Yeah. Think of it as like when you go get blood work done at the doctor. They'll be like, how many hours have you? They'll ask you that, right? Like, are you fasted? How many hours is it? And typically, blood work, they require about like a 12-hour window. So think if you ate at 8 p.m. the night before, we'll just say 8 p.m., you're not eating again until 8 a.m. like the next day. Mm-hmm. That's the 12-hour.
Yep, 12-hour fast.
And then you can extend from there. Typically that's kind of how I recommend to clients is like start with 12. Once you get comfortable, doing the 12, then you can up it to 13, 14, 15,
mm-hmm.
right, hours. And then you can start what's called the warrior fast. And that's the one that a lot of times I've adopted, or like what I'll do is 16 hours from the time I ate. Then that gives me 8 hours to eat everything that I want to eat.
Sure.
So you eat within an 8-hour window. So basically, you just kind of think about it in terms of a 24-hour clock. So if you're doing a 20-hour fast, then you need to eat within 4 hours, right? So that's typically the intermittent fasting protocol in a nutshell, I guess.
Yeah.
And then there's, obviously things that you can and can't have with it.
So kind of standards for things that you can have outside of the eating window that aren't going to break a fast. Black coffee is one of them. You can have black coffee, during that off period, so you don't have to give that up if you are going for like a later in the day fast. I like to eat later, so I'll typically start if I'm going, in that 16-hour window, you know, we're probably looking at, I'm going to eat by like 1 p.m. maybe.
Yeah.
So, and then stop, you know, at 9 p.m. maybe is the last calorie I take in.
Right.
That'd be kind of that window. But I'm still having my coffee in the morning. You can still have water. Green tea is fine.
Energy drinks, believe it or not.
Believe it or not, yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's zero. I mean, I didn't just get this just for the podcast.
Anything without calories is not going to break it. So your medications, your vitamins are going to be fine. But what's happening during that window, I guess before we get too into the weeds of what types of fasting we're doing, why are we fasting to begin with?
Right.
So, and different types of fasting are going to have slightly different benefits, but the kind of general idea of it is most people never take a real break from eating. So your body is always working to digest. So you're spending a lot of energy constantly digesting that your body never stops to repair itself. So when you take a break, your body can start to go to work on other areas in your body that need attention. Most prominent one is your gut. That's kind of the first one that will get attention because it's constantly being worked, constantly digesting. So giving it a little bit of a break or smaller consistent breaks like intermittent fasting does will allow your body to repair that gut function. And especially with the Western diet, so many of us have issues with that in some regard, whether your gut bacteria is out of whack or you have leaky gut syndrome. So many things in our current society are causing problems to that area. So this is why it's been so beneficial for people.
People sometimes, I think they don't understand. Well, I have to eat breakfast when I wake up. Otherwise I get low, like my blood sugar drops or this or that. And it's like, I mean, honestly though, if you could be, and you've heard this in many of our episodes, but we're chronically dehydrated. And so the body can go 3 days without food, right? The body can't go 3 days without hydration.
Right.
So you can stave off cravings simply by drinking some coffee, having some water. You can push it out more than you think. Your mind tells you, oh, I gotta eat right now, right? I gotta eat because I'm starving.
Yeah.
It's like, I do this with my kids a lot too. And believe it or not, I don't make my kids fast, okay? So, I'm not like that. But I mean, like a lot of times my kids will be like, Daddy, I'm hungry. And I go, when's the last time you had water, And then I'm like, okay, now drink this water, have some sips of water, now tell me how you feel, right? And if they're still hungry, then we'll give them, give them something to eat.
Sure.
But I think sometimes we're just so used to like, oh, we gotta eat, this. And me coming from like a bodybuilding and workout perspective, I practice intermittent fasting, and I practice various protocols, and honestly, when I'm doing a longer fast, I feel really good because I'm not thinking about food, because the way it is like once you start that wheel, it's going to keep spinning, right? So then once you eat, your body's like, okay, now we got to eat again, and the thing is, what's nice about fasting is you're not constantly thinking about your next meal or food or anything like that.
Yep.
So
and that's what is commonly referred to as food noise. And if you've never taken a break before, you're going to have a lot of that signaling that's going on, especially early on, but your body does adapt to it. And that goes hand in hand with that fat adaptation, which is what happens, when your body has become acclimated to fasting. So it's the same thing as going into ketosis. For those of you who are familiar with the ketogenic diet, it's your body switching over to a fat burning mode, because your body basically has an endless store of fat that it can use for energy. It's that slow burning candle that we've described in past episodes. So once you can get to that state, it's really a lot easier. So you're going to have this period, especially if you've never done it before, where you're like, this is ridiculous, I can't do this. And then, 2 hours later, all of a sudden, like, I don't feel those same hunger cues that I do anymore. And that's your body switching energy systems. So a lot of it depends on what your current nutrition level is like. But this is why we say, start with a shorter window. If you can make it to 8 a.m., 9 a.m. You know, you have that full 12 hours off, and then kind of working it up from there.
Yeah, I mean, I practice a 12-hour fast every day.
Yeah.
And there's just certain days, like on the weekends, you know, if I'm not as active, or even if I am active, I'll push it out, man, because it's like, you know, I don't really need it right now.
Yeah.
You know, and then being busy with the kids, you know, helps me not think about constantly eating.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I've been now fasting so when I used to work security, I'd work overnight shifts. So that's kind of how I started my fasting journey. Was I would work overnights, and I was like trying to keep some semblance of normalcy with my body, because I was awake when I should be sleeping. I was like, okay, if I'm awake when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I should not be eating while I'm when I should be sleeping. So then I would start it with, you know, short fasts. I had a friend of mine that was doing it at the time, like one of my best friends that he was telling me all about it. I was like, I can't do that, dude. I gotta eat all the time.
Yeah.
Then I got this job, right, doing security, and it was like, okay, well, I'm just sitting here. Like, I don't really need to eat right now.
Yeah.
So I would just start my fast up until the morning when I got off my shift. I would eat a big meal, go home, go to sleep, wake up, eat, and then cut myself off before I went into my shift, and then I would just stay, you know, all night.
Yeah. And so much of it is, you know, automated. You're not even like consciously just like, oh, time to eat, and you don't even think about it. So it's really like making that conscious effort to do it. It's liberating too.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't need to eat. I am okay right now. And the more you practice it, the easier that gets. And what's nice too about intermittent fasting specifically is that you actually don't need to do it every day. I think most of the studies that were done did it that kind of followed a natural work week. So if you did it 5 days on, 3 days off, or 6 and 2, you're getting all the same benefits as you would for doing it every single day. So you can have like those longer weekends, you know, that you would normally do if you want to get up early, have breakfast with the family, and maybe have a later dinner. You can still do that, and as long as you're getting those like 5 days or so, you're getting all the benefits. Intermittent fasting it's a little more about weight control and fat burning. So you know that's part of the simple benefit of it is you're just reducing the amount of time to take in calories, so you're naturally going to take in less calories.
Yeah.
So you know there's only so much you can eat in one sitting. So if you have an 8-hour window, you're not going to get, you know, multiple times. You're going to fill up and then have to rest and then eat again, and maybe 3 times. But it's a shorter window.
I enjoy it. I mean, and then I've dabbled with longer fasts, which I'm sure was what we'll talk about here. To date, the longest I've been able to go is like 36 hours. I would like to do more, but now we can kind of talk about, I guess, I think like the warrior fast is anywhere from like 16 to 20 hours, you know? And then longer fast would be like 24 all the way up to like, the big one now it's a lot in like health circles is like the 72 hours.
Yeah, they keep getting more and more expensive.
Yeah.
Don't feel like you have to go straight for these.
No.
You know, start little and work your way up. But yes, there's some, and the biggest factor that they're seeing with these prolonged fasts, and these are not something you're supposed to do often. It's like maybe once or twice a year you do one of these really extended ones. Is autophagy. So autophagy is the fancy word for cellular cleanup. So when your body is in that extended fast state, I think it starts roughly around 24 hours. It's kind of the...
Yeah, it's 24 hours. If you can get to 24 hours, you start, the hunger pains kind of start to dissipate. And then from what I've read and what I've seen videos on, it's the sweet spot is like once you hit 48 hours, so 2 days, you seem to start no longer, your brain fog starts to go away, because within the first 24 hours you're kind of just, it's like phase 1, you're kind of getting all the excuse my language, but like crap out of you, you know, getting all that stuff out of your body, but like you're getting all that out, and then at 48 hours, you start to see the cognitive benefits from it too. And then from what I've seen, once you've hit 48 hours, then the next few hours after that is like nothing.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a lot of that's the ketosis kicking in. But back to the autophagy thing.
yes.
What's really cool about that is that's a lot of the issues that will lead to cancer, theoretically. So there's a lot of excitement about the implementation of fasting and cancer prevention. You're getting your body specifically targets those suboptimal cells, and is really just doing this cleanup mode that we are, quite frankly, evolved to do just through periods of a famine that would naturally come up in human history, which we don't really deal with anymore. Your body has a lot of positive mechanisms that go into effect once we're in that famine mode, essentially. So, really cool research that's coming out about it. But yeah, there's kind of that initial difficult period. I've personally only done 24. I've done that several times. That's kind of my go-to.
Yeah.
And even with that, I've noticed like a wave type effect. So it'll be fine, and then you get this wave. Usually it's around like 2-3 p.m. for me, where I'm like, oh boy, getting hungry here.
Yep.
And then if you get by that, I'm fine until that 24-hour mark.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's more kind of wavy type experiences like that from there on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like, 24-hour fast is something you can do once a month, or if you feel up to it, like once a week.
Yeah, those are ones. Yeah, you can do that a little more common. So
yeah, and the thing is like you can make it. Honestly, I found that once I was able to do like 5 days of gradually longer fasts, then on like that 6th day, I could like eat, kind of a big finish with like a decent sized meal. Then I could go the next 24 hours and be just fine. I've done 24. I mean, I've done 36.
Yeah.
With a 24-hour like plan, because once I hit 24, I was like, well, I kind of feel good. Like I don't.
Yep.
Really feel like I need to eat, because it's like your body just sort of like after 24 hours, it's like, well, I guess we're not getting food, so I think we're gonna be all right. And then it just sort of adapts to it.
Yep.
And it's really cool because you kind of like the cool thing is like the caffeine starts to hit a little. You don't need as much caffeine.
Oh yeah.
You start to hit a little
caffeine,
more.
actually.
Yeah, actually be careful because it's like
don't take your normal amount.
Yeah.
Just reduce it because it will hit harder.
It's gonna get you. That's what got me.
Yep.
And you will start to get a little shaky because
Yep.
if you have an overabundant amount, your blood sugar's kind of dropped, right? So you're going to get really shaky. So make sure you're supplementing with certain things I'd like to kind of break into, which is electrolytes. Those really help. As gross as this sounds, one thing that I like to do in a fast is like pickle juice. I know it sounds weird, but there's a lot of potassium in there. There's sodium in there, things like that, especially in the summertime. I love having like pickles and then just pickle juice in general.
Sure.
Because like it really helps with cramping, gut because of the vinegar and stuff like that. It really helps with like your gut and everything.
Yeah, you got to be on top of electrolytes.
Yeah, electrolytes are huge.
Especially if that potassium dips, that can be kind of a very unnerving feeling. I've been there before. Stay on top of it with the electrolytes, and especially that's another where the caffeine is going to come into play. We're not overdoing it because that is going to strip some of those electrolytes from you. So and then too with extended fast, certain types will allow you to have 2 or 3 cups of bone broth per day after the first 24 hours. Kind of get you by. It's enough where it's a little bit of sustenance, but it's not enough to break that fast. So there's different variants out there to get you through, but really interesting stuff. On the note of blood sugar, because you mentioned it a few times, it actually has been shown too to improve insulin sensitivity and stabilizing blood sugar over time. And
it just initially you're gonna feel a little beat up just because you're so used to eating, so when you're taking the food away, it's just gonna take the body time. Just give it time. The body it's a crazy mechanism. The body is wild. The things it can adapt to, and it's evolutionarily like your you should be able to do this because you can do it. The body's able to do it.
We've been doing it through human history.
I mean, it's insane. Yeah, it's like, you know, our ancestors, man, they could go days, weeks, sometimes. You know. And then
and that's why there's so many religious aspects that use fasting is because it's known that you get into these states and you have a heightened sense of awareness. I've noticed too at the tail end of even 24-hour fasts, I feel like my eyesight's better. Everything feels sharper.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because if you're running low on food, your body is signaling almost for you to amp up because obviously if we were in that hunting phase, you would need to have better senses.
Oh, yeah.
You need to be a little bit edgier.
I get like they call it tunnel vision, and tunnel vision can be a bad thing, but in this case, it's like a really cool.
Yeah, no, I've noticed the same thing. It's like colors are a little brighter.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's
the first time I ever did like a really long fast, all of a sudden I was this is years ago. When I was living down in Georgia, I went to the mall, and I felt like Spider-Man. It was like I had all these like senses. I was like, I think I can smell the food court.
Yeah, you're turning on those genetic pathways that would allow you to better procure food.
Yeah,
so
it was cool, man. Like that's what made me fall in love with it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like
and that's what
like
gets
a superhero.
I feel like that's what gets most people is the mental clarity that you get that you didn't even realize was missing. That comes with all that food noise.
One thing that I should speak to too, because I've had people say, well, what about working out fasted? It's completely fine. My recommendation with that is electrolytes during the workout to keep you hydrated. There's a supplement called essential amino acids, or EAAs. So essential amino acids basically has a high amount of what's called leucine, and that's what preserves muscle. So if you are going to do like fasted workouts, I would recommend electrolytes and then essential amino acids and creatine. Obviously, we've talked about this before. Put those things in a drink, sip on it while you're working out, and then you can break your fast like after your workout to replenish all the glycogen and things like that. Like I used to think like fasted workouts, like, I'm not going to grow muscle that way. No, I don't do a lot of fasted workouts anymore, but I will if I have to.
Sure.
And I know how to adjust for it. You know? And the thing is you're not going to lose muscle.
No, and that's the thing about fast. So fasting is different than an extreme deficit. So there's something that happens, there's a muscle preserving mechanism that happens during a fast that is different than if you just ate a little bit during the day. So if you are under eating drastically, that's not the same thing. You're gonna switch on your body's energy systems that could actually lead to muscle loss if you were not eating enough, especially protein. But when we're in that fasted state, there is a preservation mode that happens. And actually some indications that you increase HGH, which is human growth hormone. So you can actually build muscle better.
Yeah.
You know, but it's different than like straight under eating if you're only getting in 500-600 calories a day versus having that dedicated window where we're really not taking anything in and then eating, a healthy amount after that.
There's sometimes I don't even like to eat before I work out, just because then I feel more tired during my workout. Like today I did a leg day and I was like, I need to eat a little bit before. And honestly, I think had I not eaten, it might have been a better workout, to be honest with you. I was draining. I was dragging through it. I was just like, every time I wanted to be done, I was like 20 minutes into it. I'm like, I could be done now. And I was like, no, just go a little bit longer. And then I was like, nah, I'm good. Then it ended up being like 40 minutes, and I was like, I think I'm tapping out. Just because I wasn't feeling it, And I'm like, I wonder had I not eaten, beforehand and just kind of did a fasted workout. It was just ironic that we were talking about, today our podcast is about fasting. I was just like, more and more I think about it, I'm like, man, maybe had I just not, and then broke my fast after my workout, I bet you I would have been feeling just fine, So probably wouldn't need this,
Right.
But I enjoy it. I mean, there's tons of benefits, and now I've been doing it pretty consistently for over a decade, and it's easier now for me just to be like, I'm good,
Yep.
My family kind of knows that too.
I know, it increases resilience too, mental resilience. You're not just listening to those automated signals all the time. You're making a concerted effort to not eat. So, and that just sharpens everything.
Yeah, and the thing is like you still want to get your calories in, And what's really cool about it, from what I found, is I can still fit in 4 meals, and I can actually do them more closely together and still be fine. Typically what I'll do is I'll break my fast with like something light, just kind of protocol for me, like a protein shake. So if I'm doing it after a workout, and if I'm breaking my fast, like after a workout, for instance, I'll do like a protein shake, maybe a piece of fruit, something easily digestible.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what I used to do was I would always break my fast with this giant meal, and then just not be hungry the rest of the day.
Yeah.
When you, in actuality, still eating those smaller meals, just in a more condensed time frame, can still help you out quite a bit.
Sure.
And don't forget protein.
Yep, and that
That's
is
the
one of the
huge
trade-offs too, especially if you are trying to gain muscle mass. Is this the right move for you? And so for some people, it's not at this current time. But yeah, getting enough protein in during that window can be challenging. So it takes some planning as well.
I mean, my big thing is like if you're quite a bit overweight, this could be a tool you can implement, because again, with the insulin resistance, this could help you with your insulin, resistance, I guess, because typically if you're overweight, you have some kind of insulin issue. So this could help. This could be something to help with. And again, like, start small and work your way up.
Yep.
You didn't learn to swim in the deep end. You
Don't
gotta start in
be
the
here.
shallow end, and you gotta
listen to your body too. If it's starting to get a little funky, just get something to eat and try again next time.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But
don't overthink it. Just try it out. That's what we say. But again, it's not for everybody. So we're not doctors. So it's like very big disclaimers.
Yes.
We're
always check with your doctor.
Yeah, we're just putting it out there. Something else you could just implement and try out. What I found is that I actually feel better throughout the day, and then I sleep better at night too, because I'm not especially with those 24-hour fasts. That's the hardest part. Is you go to bed, you're like, oh, I'm starving, dude. I don't think I can do it. If you just push through, get some sleep, and then you wake up, you're gonna be like, oh, actually, I think I might go a little longer. That's kind of how I did the 36-hour fast. I was like, maybe I'll just push it out a little bit.
Sure.
And so.
Yeah, well, Adam and I have talked about doing an extended fast, whether it's 36 to 48 coming up here soon. So if you're interested and you want to go through it with us, send us a DM or grab us around the halls here at Rosemount Lakeville Snap Fitness.
Might even film my experience just to see. So
Hour one.
So you
Can't
can see
do it,
me.
man.
You can see me suffer live.
Can't do it. But when you're tackling something like this, especially for the first time, it's always easier to go through it together. So, we could say 2 weeks to a month from now, we'll set a date. But if it's something any of you are interested in, feel free to grab us and we'll set it up for when it works.
Might do it for my birthday is July 29th.
What's wrong with you? Don't do it on your birthday.
I'm not doing it on my birthday. I'm saying do it leading up to my birthday. And then
right up to the birthday, then blow out the candles and just go to town.
Just get after it, you know what I mean? Have my cake early in the morning, It's my day, whatever. I can do whatever I want.
72 hours. This cake is mine.
I just think about me doing that. All of a sudden, I'm just I'm in the woods in my neighborhood. Like, what is he doing? He's hunting.
Is that war paint?
Is that does he have a spear? What did he do?
He's got the hand of Saruman on his face.
You know that my son would be out there with me.
Oh yeah.
Lucas would be out there.
Take that shirt right off.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right,
guys, something to try.
Yep.
And if you guys do it, let us know how it went. We like the interaction, so you guys don't ever feel like you can't talk to us or DM us and just say, hey, I'm interested in this. Can you give me some more information? We're always around. We're always happy to help. So.
Absolutely.